Welcome to the Be That Healing Girl podcast. And today on this episode, we're going to talk about the communication that is hurting your attachment style. And this is really going to be the episode for you if you are an anxious girly. You get a little anxious when they don't text. You get a little anxious when you don't hear from them. And I love talking about this. I talk about this all day, every day with my clients. And I cannot wait to go into what I think is a really big distinction. And on the surface level, it doesn't really seem like that. But as we dive deep, you'll see, oh, maybe this is actually me, or how I could see this differently. So let's dive in and make sure to listen all the way, because I'm going to really dive deep into what is probably going on or what you're doing wrong around it. So let's do it. So my name is Claire, by the way, if you're here and you're new, and I love helping overachieving type A. You're a goal-getter kind of girl, and you are succeeding in your career, your businesses, your academics, but you are sucking at your relationship and you're not feeling secure, you're not feeling safe. And if that is you, then you're in the right spot. And I just want to say specifically too that this podcast, my brand, and who I speak to is really for the girly who knows in your heart that the person that you're talking to and that you're with is actually a good person. They're actually really sweet. They're genuine. They've shown you nothing but amazing things. They've been really patient with you. And at the same time, you can't help but feel anxious. And I love that type of person. So if that's you, then you're in the right spot. All right. So let's talk about it, because I see this sometimes in my comments, but I really know that on a deep core level that you probably are feeling or experiencing this in some way, shape, or form in your relationship. And that is maybe feeling that they're not texting enough, they're not calling enough, right? And I see all different shapes, sizes, shades of this, but I want to get really to the core of what I think is doing you a disservice and can honestly be a reason that pushes people away, because when we are not able to hold ourselves or to examine ourselves or to regulate ourselves, it just is not a good vibe, and people can sense that. And this is also why it's important, if you're with somebody who's really great and you're feeling like you could be pushing them away, people don't feel safe around other people that aren't able to hold themselves. And so if they're not giving you any reason at all, and they're good and they're genuine and they're showing up for you, it can feel just unbalanced for the other person when you're basically in some way discrediting how they're showing up. I mean, I'm just going to say that. So if you're like, you're not calling me enough, you're not texting me enough, but they are, and they're really putting their best effort and they are showing up, and in hindsight, sometimes you'll be like, yeah, actually they do a good job, but you just can't help yourself. It feels like something that you can't control. Then I really want you to look deep, to dig deep, because this is something important that you want to examine. And I want to talk about the big thing that I want to share is around, are you focused on quantity? And I mean, I just can't help it. I just saw this comment on my TikTok, and I could just tell by the answer that I gave, we could just have gone back and forth all day around this. And she was like, what if he doesn't text in the morning and at night? And I just felt like, oh my God, this goes so deep. I can't even start to answer this on a comment. And I'll just share from my experience. So those of you who don't know, Craig and I, my husband, oh my gosh, I also can't believe this. We'll be celebrating our 5-year anniversary. Can't believe it, this year. It's actually happening next week. And we're doing some fun stuff for our anniversary this year. So check out my IG stories. And I definitely remember we've been together for 8 years, married for 5. And I definitely can relate to this, where I was face to face with my fear and my anxiety around, I just felt like he was a bad texter. Literally, it's kind of our joke. In the first month that we met, I met him randomly at a baseball game, and he went to California. And there's a whole deeper story with this, but I'll just basically say that he said, I won't be able to text. I won't be able to talk. And in my mind, I remember thinking, like, what? I pretended like everything was okay, which is a totally different thing. I pretended like everything was okay, but in my mind, I was like, wait, what? Like, what part of California? Like Baja California, which is not California, but I couldn't make sense in my brain why he was saying this to me, and he was communicating that he was out of office essentially, but I couldn't wrap my brain around it. And it was like from out the gate, y'all, out the gate, he was straight up like, I'm a bad communicator. And at the time, I was also dating multiple people. Also, that was like such a lifesaver. Thank you, Lord. And thank you to me for being open to doing that. I can make content on that as well because I really highly believe that. If you're dating, I recommend that. But he basically let me know he was not going to be available. And so that first whole month and then months after that, it was a real test for me to see, okay, what does it mean? What am I making it mean when I do or do not hear from somebody? And the reality was when we were together, it was great. It was so like freaking awesome. Still is awesome. I love this freaking guy. And it was when we were separate, and we were also long distance ish. Like we lived 75 minutes apart with traffic, 50 with no traffic, but we were not in the same neighborhood. So I noticed this habit. I already had a habit of thinking that somebody who texts a lot is a good person, and just FYI, that doesn't mean anything. They can be communicative and talking back and forth, and they could treat you like absolute trash, okay? Trash. I say that because yeah, I would think that a guy was great and oh, he's texting me and it's so wonderful. No, they were not emotionally invested. They were not available for me. Trash. If you don't know how I feel, it's trash. But when it came to my husband, he was a man of few words, texting, but when we were together, I could really feel his heart and I could feel who he was, and he would show me consistently through his character and who he was being, who he was. And I started to realize in those exchanges, and as we got to know each other more, I was like, wow, I am putting so much weight into texting when that isn't really that important. Who he's being and who I'm being with him is 10 times more important than does he send me a good morning text? Does he send me a good night text? Now, I will say that he was consistent. Like, he wasn't the best. He wasn't like, and when I say best, I'm talking like I would be in relationships where we would text all day, like back and forth. And in my mind, I made that mean that was good, right? And so I would seek that out with other people. And those were not good relationships. Again, what were they? Trash. They were trash. And so it really was this examination of what did I make texting mean? What did I make communication mean? And when I say communication, I'm talking about frequency, okay? What did I make that mean about our relationship? And it was this really early introduction into what self-trust for myself really looked like in relationship. And it was just this whole experiment for me to learn how to trust myself, how to learn how to see somebody for who they are and to appreciate for them for who they are. And this kind of leads me into what I think is really going wrong. And so just check in if this is you. And I really feel, especially since we are dating online now, we can essentially go our whole day without having a deep connection with somebody. And I really feel we are fixated and focused on quantity and not the quality. Quantity versus quality. And there is a huge difference. Let's just take junk food, okay? You can we can buy a lot of junk food. You could buy with $30, let's say $30. I go to McDonald's. I mean, just like how many fries would that be? How much soda would that be? How many burgers, chicken nuggets, whatever, right? That is a lot. But is it quality, right? Is it actually nourishing? Is it good for your body? Is it going to help you feel satisfied? Is it going to make you sick? Probably not. Now, we take $30 instead of spending it at McDonald's. We spend it on a grass-fed filet from Whole Foods, right? Powerful, potent, nutrient dense, frickin' taste amazing compared to the McDonald's, right? And that is more nutritious. You're going to get more nutrients from that. You're going to feel more satisfied. Long term, the impact of that $30 in that fillet is going to be much more beneficial than arguably the $30. And it's literally the same thing. Like, does he send you a good morning, good night text? Who the frick cares? I don't care if that's happening if they're not giving me quality connection. All right, that I want to orient you towards that. Who are they being on a consistent basis? What character do they show up with you? I mean, I'll just give some basic ones. Are they respectful? Are they kind? Are they compassionate? Are they consistent? Right? Those are the things that create a high quality person in your life. It's not about the quantity. Please stop making it mean so much if they text you 5 times a day or they didn't send you the good night text. Like, if they are consistent in all those other areas, they're respectful, they're kind, all the things like more, then why would it matter? And again, we get confused. We get seduced by the idea that it's about how many times somebody does XYZ. That's irrelevant versus the quality. And I really feel that, for me at least, this was a huge test, and it was an exercise in me understanding what quality meant. Because when I look back and I feel into, I can't help but smile when I think about it. He was so sweet and amazing and kind, and I just think about him, and I think about and I feel into, wow, like, he is such a freaking quality person. Like, I see sometimes I get stuff on my feed, oh, they're on social media, that Craig is so high quality. Never once has that been on my radar. Ever, because the quality person that he is. Infidelity, him cheating on me, like, ha, laughable. Like, I can't even know. That would never be on his radar because he's such a high quality person. And I want that for you. They're out there. They're out there, but are you looking for that? Are you looking for somebody who's high quality, or are you obsessed with the quantity? Like, have fun with that junk food, but you tell me when you get sick of it. You tell me when you're overweight. You tell me when that is just not working anymore for you, because it's all about the quality and not the quantity. So start to look at in your life. Are you looking for quantity, or are you focused on the quality? And can you even feel and know what quality means? And that's a whole deeper conversation. It's something that I work with my one-on-one clients, and I do have a handful of spots open in the next week or two for one-on-one clients. So if you are really committed, you're ready to change, when I think about my clients when they sign up, they are ready. They are ready to make it happen. They don't want to push a good person away. And truly, when I look at the common quality of all my rock star freaking clients, I'm obsessed with you if you're listening, and I know some of you are listening, but they are truly committed, and they are self-responsible, and they want to be better, not just for, if they're in a relationship, they want to be better for the relationship, but if they're dating, they want to be better for the next person, and wherever they're at, they know it's for them. So if that is you and you want my support, then you can absolutely hit the link below. We can set you up to apply, and then we can have a chat. So let me know. Hit me up. I'm sending you lots of love. I believe in you. I love you. Mwah.